So what's the best time to have your carbs? Spread them evenly throughout the day for convenience, save the majority for your post-workout meal for optimal muscle growth, backload them in the evening before bed to help with sleep, or front load them in the morning for energy. So all of the above have some validity, but let's weigh up the pros and cons. So number one, spreading your carbs evenly throughout the day. Pros, you get to have carbs in every meal, which is a win. Some may argue that you'll have a steady release of glycogen throughout the day to stave off any mass insulin spikes and sugar crashes. Cons, if you don't have many total carbohydrates for the day, your carb portion for each meal might look pretty unimpressive. So in this case, it might be better to plan a few meals with the majority of your carbohydrates. There's nothing worse than having one new potato on the plate, looking fairly lonely. Number two, saving the majority of your carbs for your post-workout meal. Pros, generally speaking, this is when your body will be at a higher need for nutrients, protein and carbohydrates, so a good carb feeding post-workout is beneficial. However, there is an upper limit that I would personally advise of around about 100 grams for a 60 kilogram female to around about 200 grams for a 100 kilogram male. The cons, no real cons here, except if you have the bulk of your carbohydrates for the day in one meal, obviously there won't be many left for the rest of the day, leaving you potentially sad and deflated, especially if that massive post-workout carb meal wasn't actually that necessary. So number three, backloading carbs in the evening before bed to help with sleep. Pros, potentially better sleep. So carbohydrates actually increase the levels of the amino acid tryptophan in the brain, which helps facilitate sleep when it comes to converts to serotonin. Backloading carbs can help with diet sustainability when on lower carbs, as one, it gives you something to really look forward to at the end of the day when most people's cravings surface. And number two, having higher carbohydrate meals early in the day can really hype up appetite, leaving you feeling hungrier throughout the day. So cons here, you won't have a steady stream of glycogen throughout the day, though you'll have plenty of stored glycogen for the previous evening, which is beneficial. Other cons, well, you won't have any carbs during the day, so say goodbye to your overnight oats. Obviously, this is only really beneficial for people who have a lower total amount of daily carbs for their day. So number four, front load in the morning for energy. So pros here, well, overnight oats is definitely back on the menu. If you have a large total carb goal for the day, it's probably always better to start early. Cons, I wouldn't suggest this if your total daily carb intake is low. In a lot of cases, heavy carb meals in the morning can really amp up your appetite during the day, which is great if you're in a calorie surplus, but not so good for sustainability if your goal is fat loss and you're in a calorie deficit. So guys, I hope this info helps. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you use any of these methods? If so, what works best for you? And any others I haven't mentioned, please feel free to add them in the comments. Of course, there is carb cycling, but that is for another video. Anyway, remember, you only get out what you put in, and hard work is always rewarded. Make sure you give me a follow, make sure you like, make sure you comment, do all the jazz, make me feel special. But for now, that is all.